We study how it looks rather than looking at what it really is. And I stop by to tell you as I'm on my way to heaven that life is full of people, places, and things that look good on the outside, but on the inside there are some problems. And you don't have to be honest with me. You can sit up in here and look all religious like you got it all together. But I stop by to tell you that if all of us would be honest from the pulpit to the door, would be honest with ourselves, we look good on the outside, but on the inside we are wrestling with some issues. I wish I had about 2 or 3 real folk in here would slap your neighbor and tell him, I know he's right. Oh, baby, you look good this morning. You got your suit looking good. Your dress is looking good. Your hat is looking good. But how many would be honest and affirm the fact that below all of this, I'm dealing with some issues? And I can appreciate the people in the text. Not going to keep you long, but I can appreciate the people in the text here because even though the city looked good, they were able to admit that we have a problem. And as long as we can look good and never deal with the problem because we get caught up in what somebody is going to say, we are more concerned about folk than dealing with the problem at hand. Preacher Mason, I'm doing the best I can in here, and most of us will go along to get along with the flow, but that's how it's supposed to look rather than dealing with the problem. The people in the text realized that they had a problem, and they did not just keep going with the flow. They admitted that they had a problem so that they could get some help. You ought to tell your neighbor, don't miss this. Help comes only to those that will admit that they have. Oh God, I wish I could preach this thing like I feel it, Deacon Riddick. Baby, you can't get no help sitting up perpetrating. You can't get no help taking you all of that in a bag of chips. You can't get no help until you realize that I have. I wish I had some folk in here to realize that this is real life and we got to deal with some real life issues. And every now and then all of us run into some problem. They realize they had a problem. And I want to ask this body, how long are we going to keep going around the same old mountain? How long are we going to keep fighting the same old battles? How long are we going to be struggling with the same old addictions and giving over to the same old temptations over and over again before we admit we have a problem? I think I ought to call a roll and say, listen, my brother, if you can't look at a pretty sister without lust rising up in your heart, you have a problem, sister. You can't get away, because if you can't look at a handsome man without letting lust rise up in your heart, you have. If you can't see somebody else get blessed with something nicer than what you have, and you get jealous and envy, then you have. I wish I had some folk in here that they help me preach with it. And every time things don't go your way, you pick up your marbles and go home. You have. And if you're still angry and resentful and hold a grudge every time somebody says something about you that disagree with you, you have. So my question is, how long are we going to put up with attitudes, addictions, and hang-ups that are self-destructive and in absolute disagreement with the Word of God? Somebody ought to shout, Lord, I need some help. Somebody ought to holler and say, Lord, I need some help. Let me get out of here. But that's still I have discovered that the only problem that is unsolvable, Mother Twine, the only problem that is unfixable, Mother Quincy, the only problem that is incurable is the one that you will not admit slap your neighbor and tell him, I know that's right. You ought to tell him, I know that's right. So the first step in problem solving is to recognize and to admit I have a problem. Here it is in the text. The people realize that they have a problem. Text said not only did they realize they had a problem, they saw the land look good. But the water was bad. The water was contaminated. The water was full of poison. They realized that we have a problem. But secondly, they realized who they need to carry their problems to. And look at the text. The men in the text took their problem to the man of God. And I think I ought to warn you that we live in a world that'll take their problem everywhere else, but to the man of God. You know, folk will take their problems to Big Mama and Little Sister. Some folk will take their problems to palm readers. Some folk carry their problems to the prayer partner. But the text stated that they carried their problem to the man of God. And the first thing I got to learn is that when I have a problem, I got to know who to take my problem to. Because everybody you share your problems with, they're not interested in bringing a resolution to your problem. And sister girl, some of them want to know your problem so they can walk off with your package. But I want you to know, I stopped by to tell somebody that you got to know who to carry your problems to. And the hymnologist just said, if I was you, I'd take my burdens to the Lord. And you went a step further and said, I'll leave. I wish I had some help in here and said, I'll leave them there. It's some stuff you can't tell some folk, because some folk got a photostatic memory. And they'll look at your face and tell you, I remember. Oh, I wish I had some folk in here. Y'all stop your neighbor and tell them you got to know who to carry your problem to. Tell them you got to know who to carry your problem to. Here is the first point. Watch this. Never take your problem to someone that's incapable of helping you. I'm going to find the man of God. Can I just be honest and transparent?